Now, these warriors have the power to defeat the Master of Darkness, but they didn't really know how. You see, Hybra, the first, has the ability to control wave energy through his legs. The second, Baran, having the power to control smoke and ash. Vertigus, having the ability of a demon and could become one using all its strength and power. Doris has the ability to control massive balls of energy with his hands. Evan was given the skills and knowledge to fight, knowing the ins and outs of human beings and other creatures. And this ability would adapt depending on the person or the animal. And then there's Karina, that has the ability to fly with large feathered wings. Vega, her speed and strength are increased with 2 whips and blades at the tip of them. Bogun was given a very strong axe that could cut through almost anything. Everon, the brother of Gelgaron, he was given a beast-like power, armored claws, and sharp teeth. And the last is Ultramus, with a knowledge to wield a sword and a key to when he was ready to unlock all the power of the sword. And these are the 10 warriors. Now, as I said at first, they really didn't know what had just happened. The stone had glowed, they touched the stone, and now they have weapons, skills, and power that they have never understood and felt before. But feeling very cocky, the warriors went out and tried to use their powers against some of the now Master of Darkness, his beasts, and parts of his army. And it somewhat worked. Easily they took down the beasts. It was a little bit of a challenge against the warriors, the Master of Darkness's army. But then they were taken out too. And they went up against the Master of Darkness. They tried to stop him, but easily, hardly even breaking a sweat or lifting a finger, they were defeated. They ran. They knew they couldn't defeat him. It was too difficult. The Master of Darkness, he felt even more powerful. It seemed that each day that passed, he was getting stronger and stronger. His brother, Everon, sneaked out in the middle of the night to talk with his brother, to try to change him back into the person he once was. As he entered the large hut-like castle that was built, he spotted his brother. Without even looking behind him, Gelgeron smiled and spoke out loud. Everon, my brother, I was surprised to see you today. I was surprised to know that you would be the one fighting against my forces instead of joining me. Everon replies back, I can't join you, brother. You have become too evil, too dark. Gelgeron replies, embrace it. Please, brother, it has been so long since I've seen you. It has been so long since I've got to embrace you close to me. Everon, you started to step back, thinking maybe it could be a trap of some kind. But it was no trap. When it came to Gelgeron and his brother, there was that bit of good in him. But now his heart was corrupted, and he was only thinking about evil and darkness and all that. He got close to his brother and embraced him. Two sides of the same coin. It felt that way. Even though they were both brothers, they were completely different. Gelgeron had placed a hand on his brother's head. His power started to surge throughout him, and there was a small glimpse of the future that Everon could see. He saw the sun being blocked by the moon, and Everon being infused with this power, and he became the Lord of the eclipse, causing darkness to everyone around him, and being right beside his brother. He closed his eyes, ripped his hand away from his brother, and stepped back. I can't become this. I will not join you. And he said it angrily. Gelgeron could sense his anger and knew that he could never get his brother back. Very, very angrily, he punched the ground, his fist entirely through it, and up he pulled a sword, a large metal blade with a handle at the end and a handle in the middle of the sword itself. He swung it around and then pointed it directly at his brother. Please reconsider, or I will have to end you. Everon revealed his claws, slightly bent his knees in a stance, and prepared to fight. The battle was long. The sun was slowly rising. Gelgeron, using his sword like a true master, slicing and cutting his way almost through his brother. Everon doing the same with his armored claws. Towards the end of the battle, they were both weakened. Sweat and blood covered the floor. Gelgeron looked into the eyes of his brother. He could see that his brother was not his brother anymore. Gelgeron punched and kicked him in the face. Everon fell to the ground. It had to be done. It had to. Gelgeron placed his sword close to him, held his brother by the neck up, threw him back into the wall, and then, with a light whistle of a noise, the sword was thrown completely straight and into him. Feeling the satisfaction but loss of his brother, it broke another part of him, the good part of him, off. And power began to surge throughout his body. And his body started to change. Scales started to appear. His claws, well, his nails started to become claws. His muscles began to grow and stretch. His hair became spikes. His eyes became dark. He grew a tail and wings. Puffs of smoke started to appear from his mouth. He had changed into a dragon. A dark dragon. Horns, sharp teeth. It was incredible. He felt like he couldn't control himself. And then he heard a weird clanging noise. It seemed like metal had hit ground. He turned. His brother was gone. He roared out loud. Then slowly changing back into a human. Looking at himself, he knew what he truly had to do. He had to destroy them all the 10 warriors, in order for him to spread his darkness across the world.